handle or express grief. They are
Yeah.
expressing anger, pure and simple, full stop, just anger, not reflection, not grief, not mourning outside of tokens about the wife and children that he leaves behind. They don't give a shit about any
Or
of
just
that.
like
It is
very publicly
purely
like
anger.
flagellating themselves and being like hyper ridiculously grieved. Like there was a guy that was on NPR this morning. I forget his name. Uh, Schlapp, I think is the guy's last name. It was a really, really interesting interview, and I'd love to bring that up as well if we get an opportunity. Uh, Much to her credit, I wish I could remember the name of the correspondent because she did an excellent job in the interview. In fact, I think I
Michelle
probably
Martin.
got that. Yes, that's the one, Michelle Martin. I would say go to the very end. It gets really, really interesting at the last minute and a half or so. It's fairly like she's kind of letting him make his points and publicly mourn, not really pushing back very much. It's a very it's kind of appropriate, but she's sort of still trying to get a good interview. And I think she did a
Yeah,
very good job. Like her questions were respectful, but she did kind of as it went on start to question back a little bit. But it got to the end, and man, he tried to just sort of out of nowhere make it like bizarrely personal and make it into her like attacking him, and like he had this I
I
guess
think
was
I see
prepared for
exactly what
that.
Miss.
At the towards the very end, he's like it all they just kind of go back a tiny little bit. Just she pushes him just a little bit against something he says. And at the conclusion of what seems like an otherwise uneventful interview, he's like, I've kind of got a bone to pick with you, and launches into this weird emotional little thing about how she was being so insanely disrespectful.
Mhm.
And it's bizarro. It absolutely defied logic, and the interview just essentially just ended with her kind of being like, "Okay," and signing off. But it was absolutely crazy pants the way he twisted what was
I
not a
can.
situation at all
Yeah,
into, and I don't know if the transcript will do it justice.
Um, there's a fragility to everything that's involved
Hmm.
in the human condition. And I will say this: I don't talk much about what the threats you face when you're in these types of positions because I think there's no sense instilling panic in people. But we're in a very bad and dark place in our country
here we go.
when it
This is
comes
where
to
we're looking for.
violence. And I think we're
Yeah.
just seeing a rapidity of really shocking events.
Hmm.
And, what I would encourage everyone to do is fight like heck in politics, push, push, push for what you want. But at the end of the day, there's got to remain some respect for those that you're fighting and an understanding that they're doing what they think is right too. And the other thing that needs to happen is, quite frankly, people in the media,
Hmm.
we need to stop villainizing people. People have ideas, and you might not like them. There's a lot of people whose ideas I think are abhorrent. But would I help them change their tire if they were on the side of the road? I hope I would.
But on Newsmax yesterday, you called on leaders of the left to stop normalizing hatred and violence. Are you also calling on leaders of the right to do the same?
Everyone should stop doing that. But the only difference is in the age of Trump is that there has been a outrageous commentary that goes on and isn't stopped
2 months
by
ago,
people.
two elected Democratic state officials and their spouses were shot in Minnesota by a man who had a hit list of 45 elected Democrats he intended to kill. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband attacked in his home. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's official residence set on fire. This would
Yeah,
seem to be
these
an
are.
equal opportunity problem,
This
right?
is well. I'm not sure it's equal, but I think there were examples on both sides that are repugnant. But I just want to look. I want to chastise you a little bit here. Someone who's very close to my family and to the conservative movement was assassinated yesterday. We haven't seen really anything like this. Somebody who's not even in elected office. I don't think this is the right moment for you to say to me that I am not sufficiently concerned about violence that happens from anyone. I think this is a moment to reflect on the life of a young man who made a big difference, and a lot of people are mourning it.
Yes.
And it is the wrong time for you to start assigning blame and to say I should have better commentary.
Oh, forgive me, but didn't you surface that issue? And am I not listening to you?
I can understand why you're getting defunded. This is outrageous.
I'm sorry
This
that you feel that way.
This young man deserves some thoughtful appreciation this morning. He's the father of 2 children.
And we certainly are giving him that.
And you're turning this into...
No, I think we're certainly giving him the attention he deserves. And this is NPR News.
Honestly, for NPR.
Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a moment of fucking moral clarity and standing up for journalistic integrity, which, I mean, NPR, say what you will about them, they do as good of a job, I think, as possible in the mediosphere in this country of trying to remain neutral. If anything, they bend over backwards to give conservatives and right-wing commentators more of an opportunity and to let them say their piece and to not push back, frustratingly to not push back and hold them to the fire at times.
Absolutely.
So I'll give them that credit, although god damn, they push over really hard sometimes, and especially lately it's so... I hope I'm wrong, I hope I'm misperceiving this, but it really does feel like there has been a change editorially for the worse since the recent government. Like, it feels like they even good old as like painstakingly neutral as they can be in PR is definitely being driven.
Right.
And some commentators more than others. So
I do
good on
feel like
Michelle Martin for fucking standing up for truth. And but that dude, as I was starting to say, is a fucking psychopath. Though that was the most manufactured, emotive shit. And like he was taking did you see how he was taking what was not something emotionally charged and just spontaneously making it so, and choosing to make her villainous in this scenario when you've been just having a relatively calm dialogue to that point? It was such a non sequitur as to be jarring. Like, although he was trying to kind of bring the emotive vibes up a little bit earlier as well, but
the glazing of this guy in his death, and as you're talking about too, with the narrative shifting, so much of the mainstream media has basically full on capitulated with the framing of Charlie Kirk as this good faith debater and advocate for free speech.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just want to run down a really super short list, really super short, of a few things that he's done just generally. I've got quotes from him and stuff like that we can get to as well, and another longer list, but just a short list really quick. He literally created lists of professors and school board members across the nation that he thought were dangerous because of their promotion of DEI or CRT, critical race theory, or they were pro-vaccination. He actively spread misinformation about the COVID vaccine and vaccines in general. He compared vaccine mandates to apartheid. He promoted the idea that some death is fair trade for gun worship. He opposes the Civil Rights Act. He's called abortion evil. He says women need to get married and have children to break away from liberalism. Has suggested that women that don't change their name after marriage, quote, don't mean it. Has said Gazans are not being starved by Israel, and is glazed constantly by Bibi Netanyahu for staunch pro-Israel sentiment, and has actively promoted the Great Replacement theory. That is just a short list of an accurate description of what Charlie Kirk actually stands for, as opposed to this fucking bullshit about him being a good faith debater and advocate for free speech.
So the fact that a journalist at fucking MSNBC of all places, supposedly liberal insanity MSNBC, just fired a commentator today for saying that Charlie Kirk was divisive and made some hate-filled speech. He called
He
him
said more than that.
divisive, not by
He said
much.
more than
It's
that.
paraphrasing,
No,
but no,
I
not
think
by
Matthew
much.
Dowd actually
Matthew
spoke
Dowd, thank
completely
you.
out of his. I think he spoke completely out of his fucking ass. He said that he was divisive. Yes, what you said. He absolutely said that. He also did say that violent words spurn violent actions, and basically like kind of turned it a little bit victim blaming. Actually, the thing that fucking gets me is he ended the whole thing off by saying this could have been a supporter of his shooting his gun off in celebration. And okay,
Okay.
it
So it's
betrays
a little bit
a
worse
certain
than
amount. Yeah, it betrays a certain amount of fucking ignorance and idiocy to just spout some shit off like that. When if you had actually seen the video,
yeah.
you don't have to see the close-up shit. You see the far distance shot of it. What you can tell immediately, it's not somebody playing fucking Yosemite Sam on the front lines. Okay, it's
No.
not some fucking celebration, some hooting and hollering bullshit. And that was just ridiculous. That was just a dumbass fucking
Yeah,
thing
that
to
is
say.
an
Getting
insanely
fired, I don't know about getting fired, but certainly a strict reprimand, a fine, something like that makes absolute sense. He shouldn't get away with
Okay.
doing just saying dumb shit like that. So
Well, thank
I
you
will push back
for
a little bit on that.
No, please do. And I'm super, super glad you did because like I obviously believe in the concept of truth and I am prone to going off half cocked a little bit sometimes. So thank you for keeping us on the level here,
I do what I
holding
can.
us to a higher
Do what I can.
standard. Yeah.
I absorb so
By
much
us, I
of this
mean me. Yeah.
shit. I absorb so much of this shit that I know how it went down. Uh, I'm always happy
Indeed.
to share my hyper fixations.
But even so, I mean, if that dude's equivalent of Jesse Waters or whoever said that on Fox or the equivalent to that, are they even going to get It's not even going to be an issue. It's not even going to get attention beyond.
Did you catch what Jesse Waters did say about it?
Oh, God, no.
Okay, so
All
this is
right. Roll the
ooh,
footage. Jesus.
I've got quotes here again. I'm mostly avoiding. I don't even want to give these people.
I do remember something despicable coming from his direction, but I forget.
We'll start with we're sick, we're sad, we're angry, and we're resolute, and we're going to avenge Charlie's death in the way Charlie would want to be avenged. Just first of all, okay, Jesse boy, what the fuck does that mean? What do you pontificate? What do you think? What can you see with your mind's eye into the afterlife and pull from Charlie Kirk as what his idea of what being avenged would be? That's what I'm curious about.
I got a question for you then. Have you not sat down with all of your friends and had these hard conversations about how you would like to be avenged in the event of your untimely death?
I think
Because if so, man,
I think it's implied for me. I think it's well implied. I
fair
think
enough.
all of you know exactly what needs to happen.
Kill Nancy Pelosi?
Yes, the
It's
prime.
fiction.
Well, she's
That'll solve
out here
everything.
killing everybody else.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Uh, so going on here with Jesse Waters, this is not a controversial person, not a polarizing guy, a divisive person, a firebrand that he's being described as in the media. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I love how they've been bending over backwards to like try and paint him as this just sweet, mild-mannered lamb of a person. That's all I've been hearing today, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, people! Like the internet exists. Like a lot of the things that he said in real life have been recorded. Okay,
I
yeah,
mean, pretty
he's
much if
super
you don't
nice to
literally
you, and I
suck his
saw him.
dick. if you don't literally suck his dick, you aren't showing enough gratitude
Yeah.
for the
Oh
greatness
my
of
gosh, they
Charlie
were.
Kirk.
Yeah, it's insane how I don't even know the correct term for it, but this guy is really being inflated posthumously. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know nobody wants to speak ill of the dead, and I'm not trying to do that, but you don't have to paint him as some spectacular figure that he wasn't either. Like
I think you could say
I'm under
anything about
no
the dead as long
obligation.
as I think you can say anything about the dead as long as you don't slander them.
Okay, well, I mean, I haven't slandered him in any of the horrible things I've said about him up to this point, so
Exactly.
there's no net positive in any of this. This is a horrible, horrible shit sandwich for all of us. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is gonna be worse than it should be for some reason. This is gonna be worse than the sum of its parts.
I mean, they jumped on it so
I don't know.
quick. They jumped on it so quick.
Yeah,
And with a
yeah.
unified set
Trump seemed
of
gleeful.
framing and
Like,
messaging. What's
yeah,
that?
absolutely. Trump seemed almost gleeful. Like some of
Hmm.
his statements, I don't know. There was an uncharacteristically positive tone.
He's just happy to be on the camera, and it's not about Epstein.
Yeah, man, like what an odd coincidence that this happens the day the Senate votes not to release the Epstein files.
There are a
All you
lot of
kids playing at
conspiracy
home,
theories out there that are
let's not forget
uh
about those files just yet.
yeah.
Let's not forget about that. I know this is a real big
We
thing,
definitely you
and it
can't forget
is.
about the file. That's
It
the thing is
is,
like,
but
oh, Charlie Kirk was killed. We don't know who the shooter is. We don't know what their motivations were. All right, where are the files? Like the FBI is
yeah.
doing their thing. If
Oh,
you've got information, give it. Move on.
yeah.
Like,
You know what we do know? You know what we do know? This card that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein is fucking real, and it's right here in front of your face, along with this other thing and this other thing and every other fucking thing that is already
mm-hmm,
public record.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Man, how amazing would it be if Marge of all people used her or attempted at least to use her authority and say whatever she wanted on the floor of Congress.
Uh,
Somebody needs to put up or shut up on that one.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's gonna go bad for you if you try it, but
this thing with Charlie Kirk, I think, is the reunifier.
yeah, it is.
Because MTG is fully on board with, the moment of prayer and the moment of silence in Congress and all this shit. So, which again, like, where was
You're
that for
not
Melissa
wrong. This is
Hortman?
getting the band
Where
back
was that?
together.
I mean, where was the moment of silence and the flags at half staff for Melissa Hortman? Where was that shit
Yes.
for all the children? Like, where was that on, like, Sandy Hook and things like that? Like, the response from the
Yeah.
right for reverence
Yeah.
for violence is not it is very asymmetrical.
It's not new. It's consistent, if anything. Like,
Mm,
yes, there's always the thoughts and prayers, and this isn't the time, but
mhm.
every other moment outside of that is just an open endorsement of the violence of it.
Well, let's get back to Jesse Waters really quick. Speaking about,
Yes.
again, the
Yeah,
unification
let's get back
of
to Jesse
definitely
Waters.
the right wing media on their messaging instantly on this whole. Jesse Waters lays it out very clearly, I think. Let's see. Not a polarizing guy, not a divisive person, not a firebrand that he's being described as in the media. Again, hilarious. This is like a guy that you have a barbecue with at your summer house. This is the kind of guy that if you come back with your daughter, you'd say, "Thank God we got a good one." He's a great athlete. He's a great person. He's a great Christian. You see his family out there. He had his kids not facing the photos because he wanted to protect them. Oh, I recall that there was in instance. There's been instances of like every public figure of Charlie Kirk being hounded by people while he's out and about with his family. Um, see, he had his kids not facing the photos because he wanted to protect them because he knew how evil people were so when he goes to these college campuses, he's not provoking anybody. He's like Socrates. He asks questions and he does it with a smile. And there's nothing controversial about saying socialism is worse than capitalism. Men and women are different. Let's put America first, because that's all he was about, putting America first.
Yeah.
He's like Socrates, dude. Charlie Kirk
Like
is
Socrates.
We're gonna
That's the
learn in
first
this that
person I
Charlie
thought
Kirk was
of.
like a lot of people, like a lot of fantastic people.
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of? Isaac Newton. Really, really similar to Isaac Newton.
We got more here. Like, there's 2 more paragraphs here. As Greg Gutfeld said, this hits differently because Charlie was one of us, and Trump gets hit in the ear. Charlie gets shot dead. They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people vandalizing Teslas. They're putting that, and that is very fucking telling. And the response to that at the time was very fucking telling. And I remember thinking this and saying it like, that is equivalent to them. I've known a lot of wealthy people, and for a lot of them, you and I and anyone else who doesn't live in that stratosphere is a tool for them. We're have the same emotional weight as a potted plant. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, that might be a bit of a hyperbole,
I
but
don't believe
they
as
don't
much as
fully see people that don't live in their tax bracket as their equal or
Mhm.
even genuinely fellow human beings in some ways. There's a distinction there.
Yeah, there's this reverence for, there's the separation of people into basically people and non-people to a reductionist sense, but or at the very least people and lesser people. And there's this
Yeah.
reverence for property. There's this reverence for
Yeah.
things. There's this reverence for cash that is such that, like, if for them they would
It's
be
on the same
justified if
level
you
as higher than people. Yeah.
well, and some of these people are
That's where I was getting at with that. That cash, that monetary value thing has as much value to them as a person.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
kind of the upshot there. Like, these Teslas, like, this is an equivalent crime to them. It's equally morally bad that this monetary value got destroyed as a person, or at
I
least
mean,
a lesser person.
there are tons of industries that have people in C-suite that are exposed to actuaries who literally put monetary value on the risk of injury or death to people. And in a sense are putting a monetary value on the lives and well-being of those people that might be the victim of, say, a self-driving automobile or something like that. There are people whose job it is to crunch these numbers. I mean, fuck, that is part of the premise of Fight Club. Everybody's seen
Yup.
this. All these weirdo right-wing assholes have seen this a million fucking times and jerked off
Gosh,
to it.
speaking of weirdo, I got a fun trolley experiment, thought experiment here. So you've got JD Vance at the helm running this trolley experiment. On the one track, you have a person, just a regular, good old random person. On the other track, you have a beautiful Italian leather sofa, recliner, sectional, the highest quality Italian leather sofa imaginable. It's a piece of art. It's beautiful. It's supple. It's soft. Does JD pull the lever? What's he do?
Every day. He's going for that person's dead before you can't.
Yeah.
He just sees a couch-shaped object and he's like, "Oh God, that was close."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It doesn't even need to be
uh,
the beautiful Italian leather, does it?
no,
Like,
it really it could be a fucking flea-infested,
fucking yeah.
crusty piece of shit left out by the dumpster at the back of a fucking long-term stay hotel. Like, it's
He's
just
probably got a thing for damaged goods. That sounds about right.
I mean, he is damaged goods.
God, in so many ways.
That boy ain't right.
That is just a moral failure of a human being right there.
Um, I'm gonna make that its own short. All right. Let's see. Let's
Awesome.
let's go back to Jesse Waters really quick. So I do want to get through the last bit of this.
Yeah.
They went after Musk's cars. Still so funny to me. They just shot 2 Jews outside the embassy. Think about it. Scalise got shot, barely survived. It's happening. We've got trans shooters. We got riots in LA. They're at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible. Dana Perino nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop, and it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying it. The politicians and the media and all these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Greg's right again. This is a turning point, and we know which direction we're going.
Yeah. That is one of the things that's been bouncing around in my head all day, and again, really put me in the mindset of the cut down the tall trees. But yeah, God, that is an incredibly chilling thing to say. Who was it? Was it Russell Vaught that said the revolution will be bloodless if the left allows it?
Yeah, the revolution will be bloodless if the left allows it to be. The midst of a second American Revolution that will be bloodless. Yeah.
That's the one.
I mean, again, we don't know the perpetrator in this instance. We don't know if they're of the left. But
man, they're not letting this tragedy go to waste, though. They are not going to let a tragedy go to waste.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
not.
They almost seem like gleeful and just happy and ready to jump on this because it's another just thing that they can pretend to be aggrieved about, like the aggrieved Christians that they are in this country, because like the world is so against them.
Well, and every single one of these people probably shook Charlie Kirk's hand.